Jimmy Carter, the longest-living president in the history of the United States, has passed away at the age of 100. The former president, who led the nation from 1977 to 1981, died peacefully on Sunday at his home in Plains, Georgia, surrounded by loved ones. The Carter Center, an organization he established a year after leaving office, confirmed the news in a heartfelt statement. Our founder, former U.S. President Jimmy Carter, passed away this afternoon in Plains, Georgia, the organization shared on X, formerly known as Twitter. The initial report of his passing came from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. While no specific cause of death was immediately provided, it is known that Carter had spent nearly 2 years under hospice care at his home following treatment for melanoma, a form of skin cancer. Just 2 months prior, Carter had celebrated his centennial birthday in a private ceremony with his family. This marks the end of an extraordinary life dedicated to public service, humanitarian efforts, and unwavering humility. Carter's wife of 76 years, Rosalynn Carter, had preceded him in death in November 2023. Together, the couple forged a legacy of compassion and activism that extended far beyond his single term in office. Early life and political career. Born on October 1, 1924, in Plains, Georgia, James Earl Carter Jr. was raised on a peanut farm that shaped his modest and hardworking ethos. After graduating from the U.S. Naval Academy in 1946, Carter served in the Navy until 1953, when he returned to Plains to manage the family peanut business following his father's passing. His entry into politics began at the local level, with a stint in the Georgia State Senate before becoming the state's governor in 1971. Carter's rise to the presidency was marked by his reputation as an outsider who promised integrity and transparency in the aftermath of the Watergate scandal. His campaign, focused on restoring faith in government, resonated with Americans and propelled him to victory in the 1976 election against incumbent President Gerald Ford. A presidency of challenges and achievements. Carter's time in the White House was defined by both significant accomplishments and formidable challenges. Domestically, he faced economic turmoil characterized by high inflation, unemployment, and an energy crisis. Internationally, his administration brokered the historic Camp David Accords, a peace agreement between Egypt and Israel that remains a cornerstone of Middle Eastern diplomacy. However, Carter's presidency was also marred by the Iran hostage crisis, in which 52 American diplomats and citizens were held captive for 444 days. The protracted crisis, coupled with economic struggles, contributed to his defeat in the 1980 election to Ronald Reagan. Despite this setback, Carter's unyielding commitment to humanitarian causes ensured his post-presidential years would eclipse his time in office in terms of global impact. A legacy beyond the White House. In 1982, Carter founded the Carter Center, an organization dedicated to advancing human rights, democracy, and global health. The center's work to combat the guinea worm disease in Africa has been one of its most celebrated achievements. Through meticulous efforts, the incidence of this debilitating disease was reduced from millions of cases annually in the 1980s to fewer than a dozen in recent years. In recognition of his lifelong dedication to promoting peace and eradicating suffering, Carter was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002. His citation highlighted the Carter Center's efforts in resolving conflicts, advancing democracy, and improving public health worldwide. Beyond his work with the Carter Center, Carter remained a tireless advocate for affordable housing through his involvement with Habitat for Humanity. Even into his 90s, he could be found on construction sites, hammer in hand, embodying his commitment to service. Tributes from around the world. Carter's passing prompted an outpouring of tributes from leaders, dignitaries, and citizens worldwide. President Joe Biden announced a state funeral would be held for Carter on January 9, declaring a national day of mourning to coincide with the service. In his statement, Biden described Carter as an extraordinary leader, statesman, and humanitarian, whose compassion and moral clarity had touched countless lives. With his compassion and moral clarity, He worked to eradicate disease, forge peace, advance civil rights and human rights, promote free and fair elections, house the homeless, and always advocate for the least among us. Biden said, "We'd all do well to try and be a little more like Jimmy Carter." Former President Bill Clinton reflected on Carter's tireless efforts for a better world, while Barack Obama praised his life as a model of grace, dignity, and service. George W. Bush noted that Carter's enduring commitment to humanity would inspire Americans for generations. President-elect Donald Trump also expressed gratitude for Carter's contributions, writing on his Truth Social platform, "The challenges Jimmy faced as president came at a pivotal time for our country, and he did everything in his power to improve the lives of all Americans." Personal life and lasting impact. Carter's deep faith and unassuming demeanor earned him admiration across political divides. A devout Christian, he taught Sunday school in his hometown church for decades, drawing visitors from around the world. His humility and dedication to community service stood in stark contrast to the often divisive nature of modern politics. His partnership with Rosalynn Carter was a cornerstone of his life and work. Married in 1946, the couple shared a remarkable 76-year union, marked by mutual respect and shared purpose. Together, they championed causes ranging from mental health awareness to global peace initiatives. Carter's passing marks the end of an era, but his legacy will endure through the countless lives he touched. From eradicating disease to promoting democracy, his impact on the world is immeasurable. His life serves as a testament to the power of integrity, empathy, and unwavering commitment to the greater good. Final farewell. As the nation prepares to bid farewell to its 39th president, plans for his state funeral are underway. Carter's lifelong dedication to service and his enduring legacy as a humanitarian and advocate for peace will be honored in a ceremony befitting his extraordinary life. Jimmy Carter's journey from a humble peanut farmer in Georgia to a global symbol of compassion and service is one that will be remembered for generations. As the world mourns his passing, it also celebrates a life well lived and a legacy it will continue to inspire. Truly, the world would do well to try and be a little more like Jimmy Carter.